So today we're going to talk about food. I had a meeting with someone one day at 8:30 a.m. It was an early morning meeting, and he came in hurriedly and said to me, "I'll be back in a sec." And then he ran away, disappeared. I thought he might have forgotten his laptop, or he might have forgotten his important notes for the meeting. And 10 minutes on, he's still not there. And then I see him open the door and walk in with a cup of cappuccino in his hand, and guiltily he says, "I'm sorry, I can't. I had to have my morning cup of coffee, without which I can't think. I need a coffee to think." That is the level of addiction people have. Or people might say, "I need my morning cup of tea. Without this, I cannot function. I cannot even go do my business. I can't even go to the toilet." And this is a standard process for a lot of people. As soon as people get up, they start with a cup of tea or a coffee and then get ready to work, go and have a shower and a shave, or whatever. And the next thing there is this big breakfast. There is this myth that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So obviously, in the breakfast, you've got everything there. And once you have finished your breakfast, you're off to work. As soon as you arrive, your colleagues want to go out for a coffee. So you go out for a coffee. You have this morning coffee and morning tea. And then, of course, a couple of hours, it is lunchtime. So you go out with your co-workers again to your favorite restaurants or your favorite eateries and gorge yourself with food. By this time, your stomach is already complaining. It's already had an enormous amount of food and is saying, oh no, please no, no more, no more, no more." But that doesn't stop you. I mean, after that, you your day is not complete if you haven't had afternoon tea. And of course, afternoon tea without snacks, that doesn't work out. So why not just pop in a couple of snacks in there as well on the side? And the stomach at this point is really groaning. It's complaining. It's had no time to digest the breakfast that you had. And then, of course, the morning tea and the lunch, and now, of course, more snacks. And anyway, by the time you're finished, you go home, and at home, you have again a big meal. And that meal might be even topped up with some dessert, some ice cream, some fruit, or you may choose to have a glass of milk in the end. And at this point in time, your stomach is busting, your gastro system is almost at the point of breakdown, and as a result, you end up having a reflux. And what do? You pop in a few tablets, or grab a bottle of Gaviscon and put it into your stomach, already groaning stomach. Finally, fortunately for the stomach, it's bedtime, and at least you're not going to stuff any more stuff into your stomach, and it heaves a sigh of relief. But you sleep for maybe about 6 hours, 7 hours, and if at all, some people can get up in the middle of the night for a midnight snack, and then there's more torture. So in the morning, the whole process starts again. And this is just weekdays, by the way. Um, week Weekends are even worse. You may be invited to multiple parties, multiple functions, and your already straining stomach is straining even more. And this process goes on 24/7, 365 days a year, and only having relief when you fall sick or when you're hospitalized, and there may be some relief for the stomach. So the stomach is really hoping that you fall sick, because there's no rest for the wicked, so to speak. So what to do? Well, I'm going to share a few key principles around food. It is your choice whether to adopt them or to discard them. And it is important to consult your physician or dietitian before changing your diet, especially if you've got underlying health conditions related to diabetes or blood pressure or heart disease or other things. So the first principle is eat only when you are hungry. It is important to ask yourself this question: am I really hungry? Or is it a past impression of a favorite food I've had, or a past memory that I've had? Or is it one of my friends tempting me? If you ask yourself this question, am I really hungry? Initially, it may be hard to answer this, but gradually over time, you'll begin to cotton on to it, and you'll discover that majority of the times you're not really hungry. You don't need that extra food, and it is only because of that you need to just check in. The second principle is eat till your stomach is 3/4 or 2/3 full. This is an important principle. So eating too much makes you groggy and sleepy. You don't want to be stuffing yourself so much that you're at a busting point and you're groggy, you're sleepy, you're not alert. So the right amount is approximately 3/4 or 2/3 of your stomach. The next principle is eat once a day, or at most twice a day. This is important so that your stomach gets the time to recover and rejuvenate. You don't want to keep on stuffing food into your stomach, because at some point you will end up harming your stomach. It also is a body organ which needs time to recover. Well, the next principle is about food. What sort of foods should I have? So there is no hard and fast rule here. Everybody is different. So experiment with the types of food that suit your body. They could be raw, they could be organic, plants, fruits, nuts, and it is important that we understand how these different food types affect our body. So a rule of thumb that I have adopted, at least, is that more complex the organism that you're going to eat, more difficult to digest. For instance, plants are the easiest to digest, and then you go into fruits and nuts and grains, they're more harder. And then if you climb that evolutionary tree, you go to seafood and fish. They are the next easier to digest, and then eggs, and then chicken, then milk and milk products, goat, sheep, cow, and for those people who eat humans, obviously humans are the top end of it. So this is something that you need to discover for yourselves. And that's right, I did put milk and milk products above chicken, because at the end of the day, milk products, or milk, is actually coming out of a cow. And as a result, it has complex proteins which are suited to a cow, not suited to humans. But you just need to experiment with the different types of food. Then the next principle is how to eat. So most of us are multitasking when we're eating, which is not an ideal way, because in that process you end up overeating. There's no way you can keep track of how much you've eaten when you're eating in front of a TV, or when you're eating while having a conversation with someone else. So you need to fully attend to food when you're eating food, and masticate the food at least 15 to 20 times. This is not surprising. The more you chew it, the more easy it is for the stomach and your gastric system to digest it. And lastly, the last principle is do that which is necessary. Eat what is necessary. Don't overindulge. And enjoy the food. There are different types of food. No one said that you can't eat spicy food, you can't eat tasty food. You can eat all sorts of food, but don't get addicted to it.